Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back once more this evening to another presentation of Minor League Esports brought to you by APM Music. Once again, I'll be your host. I'm Nigel Thornbrake, and with me in the booth this time is the Dom Diggity. How you doing?
I am doing great. I'm excited. The conference finals here, and yeah, I can't wait.
Absolutely. So here we are. We are again talking about Champion League. This time around, it is the second of two times that we'll see the Blizzard in the conference finals tonight. Of course, the last one not going their way. They fell to the Express in ML doubles, but they have a chance here at Redemption. It's this again CL Standard 3's conference finals. We have the Blizzard versus the Hawks here. And this time, the Blizzard are the first seed, and the Hawks making it through all the way up to the conference finals as the sixth seed. Definitely, though, probably we're going to see the Blizzard expansion to be the heavy favorites here with a regular season record of 37-13, which, for the statistical nerds out there, that's the best record in the entire league this whole season. Out of the regular season performances that we saw the entirety of season 15, CL Blizzard 3's 37-13, it's definitely the best. The Hawks coming in 29-21, again the sixth seed. They are the away team here. The Blizzard are the home. And we'll see here as we're just about to get this lobby underway here. We'll see whether the Hawks can break and defy expectations, or the Blizzard are just going to walk away with it. Any predictions on your end, Dom?
You know, I think the Blizzard are going to have the ice this game, but I don't know, the Hawks might have the element of surprise. The sixth seed coming on their way up. Anything's possible, but I'm leaning towards the Blizzard in this one.
Yeah, I definitely think that that's the expectation. But we'll see what the Hawks can get going here. Stas taking the kickoff for the Hawks, and Flux Capacitor there immediately with a good possession off the sidewall. Unable to do anything with it, though, as GX goes up. And J-Dog will try to keep control of it here. Not able to get anything going. Tossing the ball down the field. GX is there to receive. Gets out of the way, and J-Dog will play it off of the back wall. Ruben's up. Doesn't really have a good look at the ball, though. We see, looks really to me like the Blizzard and the Hawks are both just trying to get settled in here. Everybody trying to get those stream nerves shaken off as we get the first 30 seconds are now gone here in game one.
Yeah, just shaking it off. Again, like nerves, like you said, but seeing the Blizzard starting to put on a little bit of pressure. Again, we got some good challenges coming out from the Hawks, but the Blizzard trying to ramp up that offense, trying to get things going. Again, excited to see what they do as they're starting to put shots towards net as, again, the best team in CL, number one seed, best record, and the Hawks are going to try and get some offense going of their own.
Yeah, so far we're seeing pretty good rotational play out of both teams. We're seeing good challenges. Nobody's really whiffing poorly or taking really bad 50s yet. But the Blizzard with an ever so slight edge at the midfield game as GX almost just stuffs one in there on the Doomsy. Unable to get it past Flux Capacitor, though, and the Hawks will look to counterattack here. Ruben shuts that down very quickly. Gets beat out here on the side. Flux trying to pinch it down the field, but J-Dog's immediately there. Appa sends it up to the backboard. Both of the Blizzard players. They're kind of an awkward double commit, though, from both Ruben and J-Dog. Hawks not able to make anything of it, though, and the Blizzard will get away with one there, as we now take down to 3 minutes, 15 seconds left in game one. Still scoreless.
Yeah, the Hawks are looking, getting some good looks. Getting towards offense, getting it around. The Blizzard a little awkward on the rotation, but they're getting a breakaway here. J-Dog is just going to send it home, and that's the first score on the board for the Blizzard.
I don't see what happened here. It looks like maybe Flux was looking to be a little aggressive, got a bump on Ruben, but ended up slowing himself down, and J-Dog just had the entire field to himself there. Like you mentioned, Blizzard go up 1-0 here. We're still 3 minutes left to play in game one. We'll see what the Hawks can do to get a response, but a huge rotational miss there, and GX able to slot it in, and now the Blizzard going to go up 2-0.
Yep, Blizzard already, as soon as they got that first goal, they're just inching to, again, keep the pressure on. And now, again, 3 minutes left, 2-0. But the Hawks were looking pretty decent there with some good challenges and had a good approach. It's just got caught out. But GX getting the touch off the backboard, 3-0 Blizzard.
And you see nice shots coming out in the chat. Of course, you can't see that on the stream, but I'm telling you, they're there. What an angle. That's just phenomenal. GX with an excellent mechanical play. And just a reminder to everybody in the chat, go ahead and hit exclamation point POTW in the chat. Our bot will reply with a message telling you all the instructions you need to know to get your favorite clips from on the stream into the play of the week contention and consideration on OpenNet this week. And reminder that whoever comes out on top of the voting in that competition each week, we reward with a case of balls drawn.
That's right. And, hopefully we see many of those plays coming out. And again, off the demo, Blizzard are just going to get another goal. Halftime 4-0.
This is just huge heads-up play from GX, and J-Dog right there to finish it up. There's just not a whole lot that you can do in that situation if you're the Hawks. If you're sitting in net and you just get blasted from the guy who you thought was just rotating through, and they'll almost have another kickoff goal. This time, Flux Capacitor back to do something about it. Stott's going to take it to the air, but GX is up immediately with the instant challenge. Off of Banks through, but J-Dog will respond. Gets the touch off the ceiling to beat Flux Capacitor. Rolling into the corner here. Looks for that angle, but that's a tough angle. That's a big ass to get that shot on.
Yeah, that's tough there. But again, Blizzard continuing to put on the pressure, going in for, looks like, demos, bumps a little bit on the goal line. Now, the Hawks just trying to get it out of their half, trying to get some good challenges. But unfortunately, it's just going to get a one missed touch to the goal.
Just a really awkward ball to deal with for I think it was Appa. No, it was Flux Capacitor. And there's just nothing you can do. So, again, we see overwhelming pressure being developed by the Blizzard here. And one thing I will note is that the Blizzard are, to my knowledge anyways, the only team left in the playoffs that only have 4 players on their roster. So you're seeing an entire roster, or entire 3-man squad of 15 sals, which is the max salary in CL. So, with that kind of stacking of the roster, this is sort of the performance you'd hope to see if you're the GM or the FM.
That's right. And now the Hawks getting some demos of their own, but the pass, no one's there to receive it. That's going to be another goal for the Blizzard. 6-0.
Ruben Sandwich just absolutely merciless here. The Blizzard not really taking their foot off the gas for anything. They're saying, hey, look, we understand that, the score is 6-0 and there's still a minute 23, but it's grand finals. And we're here to show up and show out. So that's exactly what they're doing at the moment. Ruben will send it down the field, but Appa goes up pretty quickly to put that one to rest. J-Dog gets caught kind of going backwards. They're a little bit awkward. Stoss can't put a strong shot on net, and Ruben's able to clear it easily. J-Dog will take possession here. Big pass to GX. GX passes it back, but J-Dog not able to get back up in time. A little bit awkward on that ball. Ruben trying to keep something happening here at midfield. Immediately, the Hawks will take advantage. Stoss this time with a good shot, but GX was in position to make the save.
Yeah, it's looking tough for the Hawks to bounce back from this one, but they are getting some good looks. Hopefully, again, they can just get something on the board to try and get momentum for the next game. They're getting little demos, getting physical, but again, the Blizzard just getting those touches away, not letting the pressure get to them, and they're just, even with no boost, faking out the Hawks a little bit.
It definitely seems like, of these two teams, the Blizzard are very calm and collected, as GX will once again take it to the air with a nice little solo play. I think this is just a pop. I don't think he touches this again on his way into the net. No. He just sort of follows it to look stylish, yeah.
Yeah, again, just way to be there. It seems like they're in all the right, spots at the right time. And sometimes it's all you need to have. But, they definitely have a lot more than that. Now I think they're just going to try and let the clock run out a little bit. Let the Hawks maybe get one for the Brazil. I don't know. But only 10 seconds left as we look to round out this first game.
Ruben says no on that attempt. He puts one going down the field, slowly dribbling towards the net. Not able to get it through, though, as Flux Capacitor's there. Wow. Oh. Just as I was about ready to call, okay, it's 7-0. Let's move on, game one. No, GX says, I still have something to say about this. J-Dog with a touch and GX with the doink to get that last second goal there. That's going to end game one. And what a performance so far by the Blizzard. We were talking about it before the game. This was the result that we predicted. Maybe not to this extent, though.
Yeah. And again, we first started the game, that first, minute or so, looked like it was pretty close. Could have gone either way, but once the Blizzard got going, they got going hard. It was just, insane. The Hawks 2 shots compared to the Blizzard 16. I mean, man, it's hard to fight that. For the only thing for the Hawks is that, again, it's just game 1. You have the rest of the series to play out. You just gotta hope to bounce back.
And trying to find ways to put yourself back into the game. It definitely looked like, like you said, that first minute or so of the game, the Hawks were holding their own. They were taking good challenges. They were rotating properly. Everything was tight and in sync. And the Blizzard were finding it difficult to crack through that shell of the Hawks rotation. And then the first goal happened and it all fell apart. The wheels just fell off the cart. So after the Hawks, you have to find a way to say, hey, let's go back to what we were doing. Maybe take it back to basics. Get a little simple. Just focus on getting a better 50. Focus on being in the right place all the time and just working on being in the rotation and not cutting your teammates or anything else like that, not doing anything unexpected. Find some way to bring some simplicity into your game and make the Blizzard beat you rotationally rather than just with their solo plays.
Yeah. And, hopefully the Hawks find what they need to get the rotation. They're starting off with a demo. Pressure going in, and, a miss with a net wide open. But, again...
Huge opportunity there for the Hawks. And unfortunate, they're unable to convert. Now the Blizzard have settled into their defensive rotation. J-Dog's going to be able to get this one through midfield as he's just allowed to walk down there with no challenge whatsoever from the Hawks. But Flux will pick it back up, takes it to the air. Ruben will challenge. GX there with a demo on Oppa, but unable to challenge the ball. J-Dog trying to get it out of his own defensive third here, but so far, the Blizzard, again, seeing that they are vulnerable to a strong rotation and strong challenge game from the Hawks when they get together.
Yeah, it's just waiting to see whether the Hawks are going to get those opportunities and make the most of them. We've seen a couple open nets, a good shot coming there, but, J-Dog is able to react. And again, the Hawks are just trying to put some pressure on, but... the Blizzard just know how to counter it every time.
So far, right, the Blizzard defense showing no worse for the wear, despite all the pressure that the Hawks have been able to develop. Flux Capacitor sends it deep to the backboard, and an awkward double commit there from Ruben and J-Dog. Stas unable to really do anything with the ball there, though, and GX will collect. Nice big flick, catches Flux a little bit awkward on his rotation to midfield. Nice beat, though, from Flux and an awkward backflip from J-Dog, but Appa just unable to put it into the net. Stas says, no problem, I got you. There we go. That's the first lead. Actually, that's the first goal of the entire series for the Hawks. So here we are, 3 minutes, 30 seconds left in game 2, and the Hawks have responded. They said, hey, you may have whooped us in game 1, but we're still here to play, and this is still a series.
Yeah, and, again, it's that new game. You just got to shake off game 1 sometimes. It just happens. But, I'd like to see what the Hawks can do here, and if they can keep that lead. Again, they're getting some good pressure, good looks coming out from the mid, but Blizzard are able to stay calm and put the pressure down. Now J-Dog towards the middle, and it's going in. They tie it up 1-1.
This is just beautiful mechanically from J-Dog. And so just another reminder to folks here that, anytime throughout the stream you can hit !POTW in the chat. Find ways to get your clips off the mainstream, get them submitted to OpenNet for these folks to be considered to win themselves a case of balls for Rana during the week.
That's right. And again, hope to see more of these good plays coming out. Now Ruben trying to get it towards mid, but no boost. Papa's going to take it into the air, going off to the side, but unable to follow it up. Now GX up into the air. We've seen what he can do, but a good challenge coming out from Stas. Now a shot from J-Dog, but Lux is going to get past one. And again, Blizzard are starting to get that pressure coming back on against the Hawks.
Definitely seeing what they can do, showing that they're not just going to lay down and take it from the Hawks, but the Hawks looking unafraid, especially after the loss in game 1. I definitely like to see this comeback here. GX with an interesting challenge there from midfield, sort of sending it from downtown there. But he'll come again from midfield, this time straight towards the net. Gets the Hawks to double commit. Appa has to just get that touch. That had to be perfect to keep that one out of the net. Excellent touch there from Appa. But the Blizzard's attack continues. GX here looking for that angle off of the corner in the backboard, or off the backboard in the corner. Unable to get it though. And the Hawks trying to get a counterattack, developing some pressure of their own. Nothing doing just yet though. The Blizzard not yet ready to crack on defense. Stas here looking for bumps in the net. J-Dog easily dodging them though. And the Hawks will see their defense or their offensive push melt away as the Blizzard look for the counterattack. Big boom down the field. Nothing going for the Blizzard either though. We're seeing a little bit of back and forth here as we get into the back half of game 2.
Yeah, this game looking a lot more even. You know, Hawks and Blizzard both getting, you know, their own looks, but Hawks looking like they fixed kind of those rotational problems a little bit they were having from last game. Blizzard still looking good, but again, good adjustment on the Hawks end. Now Ruben gonna take it over to the side, but a challenge coming out from Flux going towards the mid. GX gonna stay calm, but Appa's coming in for a potential demo. Now GX again taking up the sidewall, getting the pass down mid, and it's a shot from J-Dog. That's gonna take the lead for the Blizzard.
This is just an excellent play from GX. He knew he had one to beat here and just waited for Appa to commit to go up to the backboard and just had to drop it down. J-Dog was always going to be there for that shot. It's unfortunate for Appa, not much you can do in a 2v1 like that. And the Blizzard will take, finally, their first lead of game 2 here. 1:05 left to play.
Yep, close game. J-Dog going up again, but no boost. Gets a pass one, but Stas is going to take it to the side. Now getting a bump on GX. Now GX coming back the other way, but Hawks able to collect a little bit. Getting some, they're getting off a little bit of the rotation, but Stas, again, good job. Blizzard really starting to ramp up their offense here.
Definitely seeing the Hawks responding to the pressure, not as well as they'd like to. Definitely seeing folks getting awkward in that rotation. J-Dog goes up for that, doesn't quite put it on. Just off of the crossbar there, though, was a good look. Flux Capacitor, though, was going to boom it out, looking for the counterattack. Appa, though, was trying to get a bump on GX, whereas Flux Capacitor looked like he was trying to pass to him. Couldn't get the connection, though. See what the Hawks can do here. 10 seconds remain in game 2. The Hawks trying to get something going, but Ruben Sandwich says, no, I'm going to ice this one down. And the Blizzard, like you said earlier, the Blizzard are going to show that they got the ice today.
Yeah, we see it time again. They're not the #1 seed in CL for nothing. And they're going to probably take this game right here, assuming nothing magical happens on kickoff. But, yep, the clock will wind down. Hawks will get it up, maybe try and get one last thing, but, you know, not if the Blizzard have anything to say about it. Blizzard take game 2.
And so the series score goes to 2-0 here, and already the Hawks find themselves just 2 games away from ending their series. The Blizzard already looking with a strong start to head out for that sweep. Is there really anything that the Hawks can do here? I mean, we've seen they've come out both games. They've come out swinging. They've come out with tight rotations. They come out winning 50s, looking at good challenges. They even took the lead this time around. But eventually, it just seems like that all sort of falls apart, and the Blizzard find a way, either through overwhelming pressure or through finding little cracks in the defense, to just break that up.
Yeah, I think the Hawks, you know, again, against a team as strong as the Blizzard, right, you just got to make the most of every opportunity, it seems like. And, you know, they did have some good looks there, especially in the beginning of the last game where, you know, where there's some misses and some missed touches. But basically, the Hawks look like they're going to have to play. I mean, they're not even playing bad now, but they're going to have to play perfect if they're going to want to beat this Blizzard team. And the Blizzard, I mean, they're just going to keep doing what they're doing, right? So it's going to be a struggle for the Hawks, but again, it's not over yet. So we'll see what they can do.
Right, we do play all the games in the series, or at least all the ones in here. And we'll play at least 4. This is a best-of-7 series. It is conference finals, again, the Blue Conference and Champion League that we're watching here. We do play all the games for a reason. We don't just take a look at who's the first seed, who's the 6th seed, and say, well, lower number wins, right? There's always a chance, and we'll see what the Hawks can get going here in Game 3 as we're now underway. And Flux Capacitor with an excellent double off the sidewall, immediately off of the kickoff, and catches J-Dog, I don't know, without boost.
Yeah, J-Dog just too far out.
Yep. I don't think anybody, I mean, certainly wasn't expecting that touch. I definitely don't think anybody on the Blizzard was expecting it either. Excellent read there from Flux Capacitor. And again, the Hawks take an early lead in Game 3.
Yeah, and, you know, for them, you got to hope that, close call there from Ruben, but you got to hope that you can just try and get some of those big touches. If anything, again, like you said, if the Blizzard aren't expecting it, you have to hope that the Blizzard underestimate the Hawks a little bit, and maybe that can give them some more opportunities as well. But, you know, Blizzard always taking good possession, good looks. The Hawks getting just a couple missed touches there, but, you know, again, they still have the lead. They still have to stay strong with the rotations and defense, but the Blizzard starting to put that pressure back on.
Excellent touch there from Appa, though. That definitely looked like the Hawks were going to just give up more and more pressure there, but Appa with an excellent beat touch to relieve some of that pressure, give his teammates a chance to get some boost here. The Blizzard, though, will try to bring their attack back. Stas with a super awkward touch, and Ruben is going to take advantage there. I don't think that Stas even intended to touch that ball. I think he wanted to let it continue to bounce over into the corner. And yeah, I think he definitely just counted on Appa getting the touch. And, you know, awkward touch, rolls out to the middle, and Ruben says, "Thank you, I'll take that."
Yeah, and again, the Hawks, you just got to play perfect at this point to make sure you can give yourself every opportunity. So now GX low on boost, but taking that out of his corner. Ruben also going to collect, but J-Dog's following up. Again, we kind of see that rotation. That when the Blizzards start going, they get aggressive and they get that pressure. Now Appa's going to get a good touch, sending it downfield, getting a good challenge again, going towards the mid.
There it
and
is.
Stas is there to collect, taking the lead.
So this just looks like a huge set of rotational mistakes from the Blizzard. Ruben was in a 2v1, and there's just nothing anybody else on the Blizzard can do there. I think GX got caught being a little too aggressive, trying to control all the boost on the field and forgetting that you can lose a 50 and have the ball go over your head, and then you'll find yourself completely out of position. Appa trying to make something happen here, but J-Dog this time able to comfortably and calmly collect the ball, take it on out to an offensive attack here. Blizzard trying to get something going, but we're seeing a lot of good challenges in the midfield. Ruben trying to take possession, but has no boost. Looks like this will be J-Dog off the back wall, but Appa's already there, reads that pretty easily. We'll take control of it, or maybe not. A little bit of faking on the quick chat. Stas and GX there with a 50. Appa trying to keep things going, and looked like maybe a little bit of a rush there, but Stas will bring the ball back, and we're seeing that back and forth. Nobody really able to get some, like, solid pressure going. Appa, what a save!
Yeah,
That
great
was
save
really
coming out from
close.
Appa. And again, they've got to keep making those good touches. Oh, a good pass coming over the middle. Stas unable to capitalize there, but again, like what I'm seeing coming out from the Hawks. Unfortunately, the Blizzard have a response as well, and they're going to tie it up.
This is where GX says, hey, I know that my aggressive play got me in trouble earlier, but I'm going to go ahead and take it again, and I'm going to keep rolling the dice because I'm confident in my teammates behind me. But Ruben able to just walk that one in after the big physical play.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to keep playing aggressive and the Hawks aren't, going to get you every time, you're going to, why fix what's, not broken, right? So
Right.
Now we're going to see it again. The Blizzard getting it down in the Hawks half. J-Dog coming for the bump, but unable to. Now Ruben getting bumped his own, but unable to get a touch from the Hawks. Now Appa coming out and getting challenged again from J-Dog. J-Dog trying to put the pressure on. GX over in the corner getting the shot, but a great save from Stas. But again, Ruben just keeping the pressure on from the Blizzard. Stas taking it out, going towards mid. Oh, that shot high, but again, Blizzard putting a lot of towards there. Now Stas has a chance to get it towards middle, but J-Dog's going to send it back. And again, getting it towards the pass, but Blizzard a little too spread out there.
Yeah, we're seeing the Blizzard trying to get a little bit of their magic going, but I'm not sure what the mistake is, whether it's just playing a little too aggressive like we saw earlier, they gave up a goal, or a little bit too much space, but they're unable to crack the defensive rotation that the Hawks are putting out for them, although there's an uncharacteristic double commit. Stas is back, though. Ruben with a kind of a big whiff there. And GX will take this one all the way back to his corner, looking for a possession play. Immediately off of the back wall, with the touch, he gets an air dribble, gets it past one, but Stas is there. The third man does succeed for the Hawks, and GX unable to solo play his way to a new goal, or to another goal. 45 seconds left to play here, and we're still tied up 2-2 in Game 3. Hawks just trying to find a way through. Huge bump, though. That's going to be a kill, and Appa's going to get that one to roll in.
Yeah,
that's
that
3 times now in
play.
this game that the Hawks have taken the lead.
Yeah, the Hawks are finally got going. You know, they're flying a little bit now. You know, the wings are all patched up, and they do have that lead. I'm looking to see whether or not they can keep it, though, because the Blizzard always seem to bounce back. Now a back pass coming out from Ruben, but an awkward touch going towards middle, miss from J-Dog. Das, unable to get that goal there, but again, Hawks have the pressure. All they have to do is get this clock down and make sure the Blizzard aren't able to get their offense going. And a great shot, Stas coming down to take another goal against the Blizzard.
Just such a strange miss there from GX, and very uncharacteristic. We've seen GX just sort of be the mechanical wizard who makes every touch happen. Missing there on his own backboard, leaving the ball to simply bounce in front, and Ruben trying to get it cleared, but unfortunately sent it right to Stas's grasp. And the Hawks will get the insurance goal now. We're under 10 seconds here, 6 and 5. 2-goal deficit is probably going to do it here, and the Blizzard are actually going to drop game 3 to the Hawks.
Yeah, great job from the Hawks this game. You know, the rotation and everything just looked solid. They definitely made more use of some of their opportunities. And the Blizzard, especially towards later in the game, found themselves, you know, a little out of place, felt like.
Yep, it definitely seemed to me like the Blizzard did not have the same tightness of rotation that we've seen from them in the first 2 games. And it seemed exactly the opposite for the Hawks, where the Hawks realized, like, we have to play simpler. We have to just not get beaten on rotational mistakes, and we have to hit the ball when we go to challenge it. And they did exactly all of that, and that's why they come away with the win here in Game 3. So now, if you're the Blizzard, I mean, it's a pretty simple adjustment, right? Just find that magic that you had in the first 2 games. Maybe, and for me, I'm telling them, hey, you know what, tighten up the spacing a little bit, because we're seeing a lot of spacing, in particular on offense, to where they're not keeping that grinding rotation going, and they're sort of all spread out, and everybody's looking to do their solo plays. And solo plays can only get you so far in 3s, because there's 3 people to beat, and that's honestly, that's a whole lot of difficulty there if you're going to try to do that consistently.
Yeah, for sure. You know, but, you know, anything's possible. Again, Blizzard, like you said, they don't have to do too much. They just got to find that rhythm again. But the Hawks, you know, they got to keep doing what they're doing as well. Again, we really like that rotation, and their defense that game was also much improved, I feel. So Absolutely. Here we are. You know, they're getting it started, going towards the end of the Blizzard, but you know, GX going to try and get that going towards the back. It's going to go off the crossbar, and then a shot coming out, but that defense coming out from the Hawks looking good to start off in game 4, excuse me.
They're definitely seeing a lot of pep, a lot of life out of the Hawks. The Hawks energized by that last win. They know now that they can be successful against the Blizzard. There's a recipe to it. And the Blizzard now showing that they actually do have weaknesses, and they're doing their best to come back, make an adjustment, and you know, forget about Game 3 and let's move on towards a series win. We'll see who's successful here in Game 4. Nobody really finding an edge so far, but the Blizzard definitely have had a lot of looks at the net of the Hawks so far. It's definitely felt a little sketchy at times on the Hawks' defensive end of the field.
Yeah, I would agree. The Hawks, you know, they are, you know, making their defensive touches that they need, but it's not looking as smooth as it did last game. Now they're getting bumped a little bit, you know, struggling on boost. J-Dog, again, putting a little bit of pressure on. And even their touches getting challenged pretty easily. GX low boost, but just going to try and get those 50 out towards mid. And then the Hawks unable to get anything with that space they were given. Pressure coming out from the Blizzard, but nobody's there to get anything going. J-Dog just trying to keep the pressure on as his teammates can hopefully, you know, get some other looks, get some boosts, and regroup.
So this is now an entire minute since we last mentioned it, but this is the first time now in the last minute and a half that the Hawks have made it out of their defensive half. But the Blizzard just leave their net wide open. I don't understand how this ball goes in. Flux Capacitor was just an easy touch off the sideball here. And I think GX had just turned up field. He was expecting a pass out of J-Dog. And just a massive rotational blunder there from the Blizzard to give up the lead here in Game 4 to the Hawks. So that's 3 games in a row now, 2, 3, and 4, where we've seen the Hawks take the first lead. They've won 1, they've lost 1. We'll see what they can do here in Game 4.
Yeah, especially this next minute. Even though they've had a lot of pressure going against them, it looks a little bit more promising after we've seen that they're able to get the rotations good, getting some pressure here now. Appa putting it a little bit towards there. You know, the Blizzard getting caught in the one corner. They got to spread out a little bit. Again, Ruben over there next to GX. J-Dog also in the corner.
Wow!
And Stas is going to get a goal 2-0 at halftime.
Stas' shooting has been really a centerpiece of the Hawks offense so far this series, and this time around he doesn't disappoint. Honestly, in my mind, it may not be the flashiest thing, and not everybody in the chat is going to agree with me, but that's one that I'm putting up there for consideration to play of the week, just because of how well placed it is, and it's CL and in threes in particular. It's shots like that that really are what make the difference in games. That's what wins you championships, is being able to put the ball on target on command. It's not showing the ability to do so, but a massive blunder again defensively, this time from the Hawks, and J-Dog will put one in and cut the lead in half.
Yeah, J-Dog said, okay, you can get a shot with some good placement, I can do that too. And, you know, the Blizzard trying to respond here, cutting it down to the 1-goal lead. And Ruben almost getting a kickoff goal there. J-Dog slowing it down in the corner, but getting bumped out. Now the Hawks on approach. Appa unable to get the bumps, get the follow-up, but GX going to challenge. Ruben sending it downfield. GX passing it towards mid. J-Dog is up, but not enough boost or angle to go through. Now Appa trying to send it down, and it's going to get a boom downfield, and a demo coming out from GX. A shot going towards mid, but unable to get the placement, and J-Dog's going to send it back the other way.
That would have been an excellent shot from Appa. That was a pretty tough angle. Flux Capacitor gets it off the backboard. Stas gets bumped as he goes for the backboard read, and the Hawks can't get that third goal across. So close, but no cigar this time around.
Yeah, that was going to be a really tight one. A couple good opportunities there. Luckily for the Hawks, they still do have the lead, but, you know, a little bit awkward now. And the Blizzard getting that pressure downfield. You know, getting a bump, J-Dog sending towards mid, but no, Appa's going to get a touch. Appa's been really good about getting some of those clears now, but Flux Capacitor, low boost. Appa with a good challenge again, but Stas unable to get in front of it. Blizzard starting to get the pressure again. Flux, low boost and getting it. It's going towards mid, but Appa with a good challenge. Again, also no low boost to no boost. And that shot's just going to go towards net, but Flux is able to make the save. Hawks escaping once again.
I don't know if I'd call this one escaping. I'm seeing some really excellent rotational play out of the Hawks. I'm seeing the Blizzard starting to clamp down, trying to bring that grinder that is their rotation on offense. But so many times throughout this game, I think I've said it 3 or 4 times, but we're just seeing some major positional errors on the half of the Blizzard. And there you go again. We find them awkward on defensive rotation. The Hawks absolutely not wasting any time taking advantage of it. Flux Capacitor just drills that one right at the top of the net. Love to see it. The Hawks go up now 3-1, and there's only 22 seconds left for the Blizzard to mount a response here in Game 4.
Yeah, Hawks looking good, looking like they want to pull this big upset, probably the biggest in all of CL if it goes down. I mean, they're going to get another shot towards net. They're cutting the pressure again. Blizzard on rotation, trying to do what they can do. Hawks buying themselves a time, and that's going to be it. They're going to tie the series here once this ball goes down. 2-2.
Right.
And there it is.
There you have it. Game 4 goes to the Hawks, and honestly, in a fashion that I didn't really expect, especially after Game 1. They lost 8-0. 8-0. We were talking about first seed, first 6th seed. The Blizzard have the best record in the entire league, not just CL, by the way, but the best record across all of MLE in the regular season. And then we see 8-0 in Game 1. And you're thinking, well, guess we're in for a quick sweep, right? Make quick work of them. And the Hawks here in Game 3 and 4 have just absolutely come alive. And I think that they're really taking advantage of the fact that up until now, the Blizzard have been underestimating them.
Yeah, and I think again they're just making that work in their favor. Also, again, the rotations on point. Their defense has come in clutch for a couple rounds where the Blizzard were really having that pressure, and you think for sure, Hawks low on boost, maybe a little spaced out, Blizzard coming in hot, but no. Hawks are just able to shut it down and keep it moving. So Blizzard, I don't know. Could this be the big upset that a lot of people wanted to see? And it's tied up. Anything could happen.
We definitely will see here. And honestly, I think if I'm in the voice call with the Blizzard, the one thing I'm telling them is you have to start respecting your opponent here. All you have to do is put it with the little extra aggressive moves, especially that GX has been guilty of, trying to go up for the opponent's boost in their corner, trying to get that extra demo, trying to get those clearing plays. Focus on your rotation, because the Blizzard have shown when you rotate on offense, they can do it faster, they can do it more cleanly than the Hawks, and they can eventually wear them down. But they've given up on that in favor of trying to get the flashy solo plays and, trying to get on play of the week. But it's obviously not working for them anymore here. We'll see whether they're going to make that adjustment or a different one here in Game 5 as we're underway. 4 minutes, 38 seconds remain in Game 5. J-Dog looking for a bump, but doesn't get it, and Appa getting one of his own on Ruben there. GX and Ruben both double commit for this ball as Flux Capacitor takes it to the air. Nothing doing. GX with a nice little beat, but it gives it right back. A huge demo from Stas. Ruben has to dive back in order to get back on that ball. Flux Capacitor here just going to lob that one in. That's going in. What a touch.
Wow. Great job there from the Hawks. Getting good pressure, getting the demos when they need them. And yeah, what a pass coming from Flux. Stas, good job on being there. Blizzard, like you said, can't underestimate their opponent here. Even though you're the top dog and, we've seen everything they can do. Now they're going to start to, get the revenge, get the bounce back, tie it up here off the kickoff.
This is just a big miss from Flux, and Appa turning upfield after getting the corner boost instead of back downfield. And this is one of those things they talk about. If you ever watch Johnny Boy, he talks about this exact situation in Three's kickoffs, where you have both the hard cheat from the middleman and the player going out to the corner and turning upfield. You get beat in situations like that for exactly that reason.
Yep. Hawks just got to stay strong there. Good job on defense. Appa, and again, trying to get it away from the Blizzard here, but GX doing a decent job getting a bump with the challenge. J-Dog getting it towards mid, but no one's able to follow up. Now Hawks taking their time, getting a little bit of a pinch there, and the demo, but challenge coming out. Now getting it past Flux. Stas is there, but Ruben getting the Blizzard's pressure coming back towards mid. A little bit of a mistouch, but Hawks are doing good. Now J-Dog sending out a pass over to Ruben, going back towards middle, but GX isn't there. Ooh, the Hawks almost had a chance to shoot it, but Blizzard gonna keep it out.
And just a near miss there from Stas. I saw him up and thought he had that red, but Ruben says, "Don't forget about me, folks." We haven't talked much about Ruben in the last couple of games, and maybe he's the missing piece that the Blizzard have been missing this entire time. Showing up here big fashion in Game 5. The Blizzard now are ahead by 2-1, 3 minutes and 11 seconds left here in Game 5. And the Hawks looking to respond immediately. Big miss there again by the cheat man on the kickoff. This time, though, the Blizzard unable to convert. Appa with the big beat on down low. Another big 50. Gets it past Ruben. Unfortunately, can't put it onto the net. Stas is up for the pass. 2 Blizzard players on the backboard there. A little bit of a double commit, but they're able to recover. Flux Capacitor playing really soft on J-Dog there. Allows him time to get boost. Appa with the big boom, trying to get it past GX. Unfortunately, unable to do so, though. Stas will take it to the other side. Gets immediately deleted by GX, who's up off the wall for the pass. Can't put it down enough to put it on target. Bounces harmlessly off the backboard, and the Hawks will look to counterattack once again. Appa with the pass, but Stas getting bumped. Ruben with... I don't know how you make that goal line stand without Stas just sort of hitting it right into you. But either way, Ruben will get credited with that epic save.
Yeah, that was again, good job on him for being there. Stas, unfortunately, unable to get that goal there, but again, they got to watch out because these Hawks are getting some good pressure. Even though they have, the Blizzard have the lead, Hawks are not playing around anymore. And again, Ruben trying to keep the pressure on, but no boost. Now Appa taking it back the other way. Getting the pass going towards mid, but nobody's there. Rolls across. Now Ruben going to go for the counter. Gets a pass one, but Stas able to put it on the other side. Now, a miss coming out from Appa. GX going over there. But again, Hawks getting it towards the middle, getting some good looks for these passes. The Blizzard just able to keep it out of their half.
Stas picking up the pass from Appa there in the midfield, gets a huge kill on GX. Appa not up in time, but does bump Ruben off. J-Dog will hit this towards the net. I think this one's going to end up in the net, though. Just a huge heads-up play here from J-Dog, catching Flux Capacitor. A little bit overcommitted here, not able to get that control of the ball here, and the Blizzard will go up by 2 now with 1:18 left to play in Game 5.
Yeah, the Hawks were starting to have that good pressure, but like you said, just getting caught out too much, trying to get too aggressive a little bit. They still have plenty of time to get these 2 goals back, but Blizzard's starting to settle in a little bit. We've noticed a little less aggression on their part too, as they finally are respecting their opponents a little bit. But oh man, some good pressure coming out from the Hawks. It's just unable to capitalize there. Now the Blizzard, less than a minute left. They're gonna hit it back the other way and almost give the Hawks a good look there, but Blizzard are still up by 2 with 40 seconds left.
And doing everything they can to kill the clock. The Blizzard want to get the win here. They want to get the momentum back in their favor, but Flux Capacitor, wow! What a shot here from all the way at the top, like all the way at the ceiling, right out of the corner here. Absolutely nails it top ends. There's nothing J-Dog can do about that one. And the Hawks cut the lead in half. 3-2 now to the Blizzard. 33 seconds left to play.
Yeah, and that was a great pass from Stas too on that challenge. But now, again, that's almost able to get it downfield. Now the Hawks are going to send it. Ruben unable to get a solid touch. It's going back the other way. Going on the backboard. Stas! What a shot to tie the game.
This is an uncharacteristic miss here from actually not from J-Dog. That was from GX, sorry. And Stas just absolutely reading it the entire way. What a play. And just one more reminder for folks in the chat, don't forget to hit !POTW and get shots like that into consideration for Play of the Week this week.
Yeah, what a shot that was. And at what a time they needed that too. But still, 10 seconds left, unable to get the shot towards that with J-Dog. And Stas
huge
getting
kill.
the demo. It's going towards mid.
No!
Oh, no one is there. Oh, the ball is still up. Now GX
Stas goes up, he has 6 boosts though. Oh, and this one's going to go to overtime. GX with an excellent goal line stand there to keep the Hawks from getting their overwhelming pressure to convert. Flux Capacitor taking the kickoff here, and Appa immediately on top of it, but the Blizzard sending it back downfield. Another backboard miss. We're seeing those happen a little bit more often than we have in the past here. Game 5, folks just not paying that much attention to the backboard. Maybe not able to make the reads. Blizzard unable to make anything happen there with all of Ruben Sandwich's excellent plays there. Appa has to make this touch away to the corner. GX waiting for it, though.
Yeah, that was almost a little bit of a mistouch from Flux getting it back towards the net, but again, going downfield, trying to get that pressure. Stas getting it towards mid. Appa, the shot, not there, but Flux still keeping the pressure on. Now, getting a touch from J-Dog. He's going to set it back downfield. Stas
Huge boost steal from Stas there. Sorry.
No, go ahead. I mean, man, this is a lot of good looks. Now this is going downfield. J-Dog sending it up.
Oh, no.
Stas.
That's it.
Wow.
Uncharacteristic again. I've said this a couple of times now, so I don't know, maybe they're starting to become characteristic, but this is an uncharacteristically bad first touch from J-Dog that allows Stas to just have a wide open net right from the 6-yard box, and he's not missing that. And now, I mean, we were talking about being surprised after Game 3. We're talking about being surprised after Game 4. Now here we are, it's Game 5, and the Hawks have won 3 straight. They're on match point. The Blizzard are staring down the barrel of having their season over. They came in as the 1 seed. They came in as the favorite. They came in as the best record in the entire league across all of MLE, and now they're 1 game away from being sent home packing. What a turnaround. What a series.
Yeah, element of surprise was no joke here, especially after those first two games. The Hawks going crazy on offense this game. They outshot by 12-4 to the Blizzard. The Blizzard just, again, a couple of those misses off the backboard and the rotation a little bit slow sometimes. Man, the Hawks, unexpected, but it's great Rocket League, so that's all we can ask for.
Absolutely. This is the kind of stuff that we are here to see. This is why we play the game. This is why we cast the game. This is why I love being in the booth here and getting to watch all this stuff happen live and bring it to you folks here at home as we move on to Forbidden Temple here for Game 6. Can the Blizzard respond? Can the Blizzard find a way to extend their series by one more game? Because if they can't find a way through this time around, it's over and the Hawks are on their way to the grand finals. And on the other side, can the Hawks find a way to keep this momentum going? Can they continue to bring the overwhelming pressure and causing indirectly the unforced errors that the Blizzard have been making in the last 2 or 3 games? Flux Capacitor with an excellent save there, and Appa's going to get the clear. Ruben's challenge unaffected. J-Dog will send it back up to the backboard, but Appa's there reading and waiting for it. Stas up against GX. GX is going to get a demo there, but nobody touches the ball. GX trying to get a little fancy there, trying to get a little redirect or a doink, unable to do anything with it though. We see the Hawks getting the clear, but the Blizzard already developing strong pressure here in Game 6.
Yeah, the Blizzard, again, this is not a spot that I think they expected to find themselves in. And the Hawks, fully expecting to just, do whatever they can. They're in the playoffs for a reason. We are seeing that right here. But the Blizzard, they don't want to let their season end here. The #1 seed and a great save coming out from GX, but the Hawks, they're knocking down the door again. They are not scared. They are unafraid of the #1 seed, of the Blizzard, and the
what
Blizzard.
A save!
Oh, so close.
And I'm telling you that, the save we saw on the other side of the field from GX was mandated by, not to pick on it, but once again, another bad touch on the backboard from J-Dog. And so I'm starting to wonder, is J-Dog showing signs of cracking under the pressure? GX doing his best to solo play here, get a little pressure relieved off of the Blizzard. Appa's up for that one, though, and the Hawks are going to take an early lead here. Well, I guess it's not early, right? 3 minutes, 30 seconds left here in Game 6. 1-0 to the Hawks.
I will tell you that Stas has been diming everyone up with some of these passes and some of the passes from his challenges. Unbelievable there. But yeah, great job coming out to finish that shot was Appa. And again, the Hawks taking the Blizzard by surprise. Taking us all by surprise, it seems like.
Yeah, at this point, is it a surprise anymore, though, is really the question. A double demo there, GX and Stas trading. J-Dog will take it to the ceiling here, all the way up in near dribble, unable to make anything happen on the backboard as it'll just fall harmlessly back into the possession of the Hawks. GX with a big 0 boost challenge, though, trying to keep that pressure from the Hawks from forming. Ruben coming up off of the sidewall, but Flux is there to meet it. J-Dog with a quick cut, trying to keep that ball on the Hawks side of the field. Unable to do so, though, so the Blizzard will have to go back and play defense again. Ruben gets caught flat-footed on the goal line, but is able to make the stop. GX trying to solo play here, get a little beat, but Appa is there to respond. Quick pass there from GX, trying to interrupt and disrupt Appa's possession play on the backboard. A little bit dangerous directly over his own goal, but nothing doing there as the Blizzard are unable to capitalize on the opportunity. Big bump there from GX, though. J-Dog trying to get something going. Oh, no, and Stas is going to own goal. Oh,
man. That is...
As he says in the chat, nice shot, thanks.
That's a rough one, especially as the Hawks were looking so good there. But, hey, the Blizzard, they'll take what they can get, right? It's so you're going to have a tie game at halftime, kind of reset a little bit with the Hawks. They don't want to make that mistake again. Stas is going to get the demo, but the Blizzard able to hold strong. Now GX, no boost, but unable to get the bump. Ruben with a miss, and Hawks are putting that pressure on. Blizzard got to be worried here.
This is just one of those this is Rocket League things. Ruben misses on the backboard, bumps into J-Dog, but J-Dog trying to get the touch actually sends Ruben back into it to get the save. I just don't know what's going on the Blizzard's backboard right now, but it's not good.
Yeah, it's not what they want to see. So hopefully they're just gonna, again, looks like send it down to the other backboard. You know, if it's not in their half, hopefully it's not their problem. But Ruben sending it over to the corner. Appa there, and a good coverage from Stas to get the touch, but challenge from GX. Now going to the corner again. Appa and the Hawks on their own half getting plenty of space. We're used to seeing the Blizzard again in this series stay kind of aggressive, and you know the Hawks are just not having to worry about it.
Yeah, so far the Hawks seeming very much in control. What a big save from Fluffs there. Is GX almost finding a way through their little solo play. Not able to make it happen though. Ruben awkward on the sidewall. Nobody's back in the net for the Blizzard. Playing very far forward, trying to find something, make something happen. Getting a big demo there from J-Dog, but nobody's there to follow through. Stas with a little bit of an air dribble, final touch, but Ruben is there waiting for him. No boost either, so he's forced to go back, and Appa versus J-Dog, and J-Dog's going to come away with the ball here. Blizzard now finding Stas at least a little bit pushed up, a little bit too far and overcommitted. DX trying to make something happen here, but unable to. Flumps the passer, patiently waiting for him. And this has really been the story of, wow, there's a little bit of a pre-flip, almost got the flip reset for Flips and Passer. But the Hawks have been able to just sort of patiently wait. Initially, the first couple of games in this series, we were seeing GX just absolutely mobbing him with solo plays, but they've learned that if they just wait, most of the time he's going to end up throwing the ball away.
Yeah,
as we get to the final seconds here.
Their patience is, you know, paid off as they're getting the pressure. Possibly, no, nothing before overtime, but you know, again, there's some good looks coming out from the Blizzard. It just seems like they tried to pull back on the aggression and gotten a little too passive now. Hawks, again, putting the pressure downfield. They're trying to close this game out, trying to pull the upset and doing what they can. They're getting some good looks, but it's going towards mid, a double commit, but the Hawks still able to get away with it.
Excellent touch there from Stas. Getting the ball out, getting everybody a little bit of time, a little bit of breathing room. Go get some space, go get some boost. GX with an air dribble over Flex Capacitor, but not able to beat the second there. Stas getting the save. J-Dog trying to keep the ball in and just trying to keep pressure going here. Does get that boost and wins that boost from the Hops. Alrighty, so it's a series. We're going to Game 7 as the Blizzard score there 47 seconds into overtime in Game 6. J-Dog finally returns to the series here. We haven't said a whole lot about him except that he's missed a bunch of touches on the backboard here in the last 2 games. But he shows up in grand fashion in overtime in Game 6.
That's right. There when it counts, there when it matters. And again, you know, GX was also there to collect on the goal. We had seen him have a lot of pressure going in the first couple of games, but again, as they kind of pulled back, like I feel like this game could have been over a little sooner if they made use of some of those opportunities. So, man, this is a Game 7. I personally didn't expect it to go this far, but you know, here we are, and we're here for it.
Absolutely. And as we make our way to Champions Field, just like we had it written down in the script, I told you guys when I started casting just about an hour ago, the last series, we were going to have a Game 7 for you. Called it, right? And, you know, the commentator's curse isn't always a bad thing. Yeah, definitely. I think we've talked about how we've been surprised the last couple of games, especially with the Hawks winning 3 games in a row, just going on a hot streak now. The Blizzard just barely scraping by to get that win, to keep their season alive, and now both teams are on match point. It honestly, the drama writes itself. It can't get any closer than this. And what are we going to see here in Game 7? Are we going to see the Blizzard having their overwhelming, outstanding pressure like we've seen early on in the series? Are we going to see the Hawks take control and command of the ball, especially at the midfield? Are we going to see this recurring theme of errors on the backboard from the Blizzard continue? Because that may be my prediction. I don't want to see it, but honestly, if they continue to make mistakes on the backboard, that's how they're going to lose this series, and that's how they're going to end their season.
Yeah, and that what an end of a season that would be, unfortunately for them. But the Hawks, they're not gonna let anything like that happen. It seems they're just gonna get that pressure starting off here. They want a shot at the title for MLE champions, and they're making their case right here.
Absolutely, and a case will be made. Somebody is going to go to grand finals next week. Somebody's going to go home for the rest of the season. 4 minutes and 24 seconds left here in Game 7 on Champions Field. Nobody really able to get anything going so far. The Blizzard looking to develop a little pressure here. Not going, though. GX taking a quick shot, but Stas is there to stop it. Appa against J-Dog here. Neutral 50 is going to go onto the sidewall. Flux Capacitor is going to get a big boom, but kind of tosses it away down the field. Stas is back, though. Will take it to the sky. See if he gets it to the backboard. Appa's up for the read. Ruben just there in time. Flux Capacitor up for the other read there. I think this is a little bit ill-advised challenge for Flux, but we'll see whether the Blizzard can make anything happen of it. They cannot. Throw it away. Appa with a big clear here now and catches the Blizzard overcommitted, but Ruben just back in time. That honestly has been the story of the Blizzard's defense so far this series. It's been an awful lot of overcommits by GX and J-Dog and an awful lot of saving their bacon by Ruben.
Yeah, Ruben's been clutch on the back end there, but you know, the Hawks again keeping that pressure on, doing what they can to keep it on the side of the Blizzard. But GX is going to send it down, get the demo, starting to get the aggression going. Ruben getting a pass towards mid, but a good block coming out from Stas. Now Appa going to send it down. GX on one side. Flux with a pre-jump, but no more boost left. Oh, and a feels backflip coming out from Ruben. Now the Hawks going to send it towards mid, getting it downfield. Now GX just going to take it over to the other side. And, you know, the Hawks, they're looking good. They got the challenge.
What a 50! Appa just absolutely stuffs it into the net. Ruben trying his best to continue his streak of just being the defensive mastermind of the Blizzard, and Appa says, no, sir. This one's going in.
Wow. Hawks, they are here. They mean business. They came to play, and they're just going to take it over to the side. But Flux Capacitor getting that offense back going. It's mid. Oh, Stas with another goal. They're going to be up 2-0.
I feel bad because I feel like a little bit of the commentator's curse is starting to happen now. But I talked about how the Blizzard continued to make mistakes on their backboard. They're also making mistakes in the backfield, a wide open net, and the Hawks are just going to walk it in for a 2-goal lead now with half of Game 7 gone. There's still time, but time's running out a lot faster than you'd like it to if you're a Blizzard fan.
Yeah, the Blizzard, I mean, what they're going to have to do is get the crazy, they're going to have to go on a crazy spree like they did in the first game, 8-0, and it starts here, but wow, what a save coming out from Stas.
Wow.
And the Hawks are able to stop another goal there. Even with the demos, it's just, you know, Blizzard, they're working for it, and the Hawks are just working harder.
Yep, and it seems like the Blizzard are just unable to find any sense of, oh wow, you know what? I'm gonna let that thought go, because Ruben's just gonna take it over the entire field, over everybody on the field, way up top, and put one in. Cut the lead down in size, cut it in half. And so now it's 2-1. Hawks still lead, a minute 49 left to play here in Game 7.
Ruben said, I'm tired. I'm tired of just playing in the back line, making these saves, making these touches. Just get me something to get going here. And the Hawks the Blizzard are doing just that. Great pass to J-Dog, and they're going to tie it up.
What an excellent play here from GX, and I think Stas waited a little too long to go challenge that and found himself in no man's land, and there was just nobody around to get in front of it to keep J-Dog from burying that one in the back of the net. So minute 42 now. Not a whole lot of time happened between those two goals, and almost a third here off the kickoff. A minute 37 left here, Game 7. We're all tied up at 2. Honestly, you can't even write scripts this good, you know? First seed versus the sixth seed, 37-13, best record in all of MLE, and then here we are in Game 7 on Champions Field, and we have no idea how this one's going to go. It's anybody's game.
And there's only a minute left to find out. I mean, it's crazy, but the pass is coming towards mid. It's going off the backboard. GX going to get a pass 1, but Lux just going to take it over to the side. Dangerous in front of their own net, but a good touch. Oh, and a good challenge as well.
Huge bump.
What a bump. And
oh no.
Oh man, this is It's really all just coming down to this last minute.
Ruben misses the open net opportunity there, and Stas is going to get a chance to send it away. J-Dog waiting for it at midfield. Blizzard having the pressure, trying to find a way through. GX unable to get that one through the car body of Appa, and Appa's going to possess it here. Take a 50 against J-Dog, and Ruben is up immediately. Now, I wonder, we're seeing a lot more of Ruben involved on the offensive side of the field, but the Blizzard have shown a tendency to overcommit all throughout the series. Is that leaving them at a higher risk of overcommitting here and ending their season in spectacular fashion? We'll find out shortly. Wow, the Hawks almost ended their season in spectacular fashion. Stas goes up, but J-Dog immediately challenges off the sidewall. Nothing going. Appa sends it downfield. It's just Ruben. It's 2v1 here with 1 second to go, but the ball's going to hit the ground. We're in overtime in Game 7. It's a dream series. It's the Cinderella series. How often do you get to cast something like this?
This is incredible. This is beyond what I expected for sure, and I am incredibly glad we got this as our last game of the night.
Absolutely.
Sending that. I mean, Game 7 overtime, Champions Field for all the marbles, and it's still just as close as ever.
And it's still anybody's game. We're hitting the 30-second mark here in overtime. Hawks developing a little bit of pressure, but J-Dog with the outlet there relieves it, gives his team a chance to find some boost, and then a mistake in the corner, and that's it! Stas! I was talking about how we expected maybe, a mistake from the Blizzard on their back line to be the thing that decided it, but it ends up being one for the Hawks instead. So after 36 seconds in overtime, 7 games, all the way to every last little bit we could squeeze out of this series, the 1 seed are finally going to take it. The Blizzard go up 4-3 on the overall series score. They will advance next week to the grand finals in CL3s, and the Hawks will go home empty-handed, but full of heart, knowing that they gave us certainly the most entertaining series of the night.
Wow. Yeah, what a game, what a match. I honestly don't even know what else to say. Like you said, the Hawks made it the most entertaining match we've seen. Wow. Man, and it really just comes down to one thing. Man, I hand it to the Hawks. I mean, they played their hearts out here. But man, wow, what a series. That's all I can really say.
What a series indeed. Unfortunately, it had to end somehow. Somebody had to go home, and it ends up being the Hawks tonight. But that's going to do it for us tonight. That's it for all the matches, all the conference finals, at least that you're going to see on stream from us this week. Just a reminder to everybody that you can hit !ProLine in the chat. Go find all the store, or the MLE merch store. You can get all of your hoods, hoodies, jerseys, everything to support your favorite franchises. And make sure right now that you're following the channel. Make sure that you have your next weekend clear, because next weekend it's the grand finals. It is 10 matches, 10 champions, all the marbles to play for next week. And that's what we'll be here for. We'll be bringing it to you live. Hopefully you'll be here to join us. So for everybody here at the staff, I'm Nigel Thornbrake. He's the Dom Diggity. You all have a good night.